Well, hello and welcome to Material Mondays. So in last session you would have seen me create this, or not create the whole thing, but I stitched, added the bead-ins and the kind of larger sequins and just added some detail, and I've just been sitting with it for a bit and thinking, yes, that I want to add this to a frame as opposed to try and creating a backing for it. I haven't yet found a frame yet, so I'm just be putting it into the pile of completed pieces. Then you would have seen this at the end of that video, and I've been doing a bit of work to it and adding details to the faces of both. I was debating whether this was, you know, a man and a woman. What I felt was this was a woman and an older woman, and as I was stitching, it was weird. It felt like I was, it wasn't weird, but I think about my mum often, who's now passed. She passed away last year, and this felt like a caring kind of image that was coming out for me anyway. I hadn't thought, I was trying to imagine what I could see in regards to the figure itself, and sometimes you don't have to complete the figures, you know, you don't have to write this is their arm, this is their hand, foot, whatever. I mean, this young lady, we can see her hand there and her leg there, and the older lady is leaning on her, and this is semblance of her figure. But I can leave, you know, it's up to you how you finish off your pieces, and this is an interpretive kind of piece. We know that mostly when you see a figure and you can't see the rest of it, that, you know, there's limbs there and hands or whatever. But the thing that was coming for me on this, well, there was two things. As I'm stitching and going in finer with the details, some of the fabric is puckering, but then I was feeling that there was like a light emanating from the pieces, the figures here. And so what I wanted to do was take a black thread and just to, from the point of their bodies, just to create some lines going out in the directions. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my black thread and we're just going to spend some time. I'll start at the top here and work my way round and then see how I get on. And maybe that goes there, but I want her to have a light coming from her as well. So maybe the lines cross over. Yeah, maybe they do. But we are just going to go ahead and enjoy just the meditative process of the stitching, but also maybe, should I do it in the black thread? Could do it in the black thread, or I could choose a colour, maybe a colour that's here. But I'm thinking I'll do it in the black thread, and then I may decide to fill it with a different coloured thread and use different, just not doodle with the stitches, but basically that, just create patterns with the stitches. Okay, so I'm going to need to add, I've got a longer piece here, so I'm just going to start here and work my way round. So I like creating the pieces that I create. I don't always have a particular outcome, initial outcome in mind. Their story grows as I work on them. So when we look at this piece, it started out as the pattern, the stencil that I've used on the fabric with paint. So I'm just going to take my time and create a series of stitches that go outwards on the piece, and you might not necessarily be able to see that one, but when I start creating patterns coming out from each of them, then you'll be able to see it clearer. So let's get I've done stitches around her, and the last one that I did, there's a circle of stitches that I've done here, and I'm feeling that that's the sun. And what I want to do is add some additional paint just to define some of the areas. So and then I've also just gone in and just tried to define her nose a bit and patterns around the eyes. So I've got some metallic paint and some opaque paint, and I'm just gonna see, these are for both fabric and I've got this Dynaflow one, golden yellow, so I'm gonna see, and then we've got this is a white, but I'm thinking that I want more the yellow, and then I want to define some of the spaces where I've added the stitching. I am going to add additional stitching around here, but I just want to add some colour with my paint. Okay, so I'm thinking let's go with the one that I can't open. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so this is an opaque acrylic paint that can also go on fabric as well as paper. And so we're working in stages. Now I don't need that much, so I'm going to get my very fine brush and just lightly add to areas. I'm going to add it on, actually I don't even need to do it, yeah, okay. Just lightly on areas, because I haven't yet totally decided how I want it to look, but we're just going with a flow. So I still want you to see the stitches and some of the patterning with the that the stencil made, but I'm thinking where the blue paint was underneath, I want that to be yellow. that's that for now. And I also just want to put some colour. I might do alternates. So I need my fuzzy brush. This one's a bit thick. Let's look at the burnt orange. Okay, so I've got a little fuzzy brush here that I don't mind doing that with on the surface. And I'm just going to pick up, this is very thick, this one, so I might need to dilute this one. And we'll see. Start in this area. So I just want to, there's some of the paint already there actually, so I just want to lightly bring a bit more of the colour there. So it's a very light addition, and then I'm going to use a different colour. Let me see if that, this gold one, it is thick, but this is sunset gold. In between, so not entirely covering up this area, you'll still see underneath, but it just almost like some rays coming off her. And then as it dries, it should dry, it's not going to dry thick. It's not going to make the fabric stiff. Okay, so as you saw, I've added some paint, and so we've got the gold, the burnt orange, and the sunset. Is it the sunset gold? Yeah, along here. And then I was feeling adding white paint, and just in parts. And here I can see a bird with, it's almost like the bird is facing this lady and has got his wing. It's almost like this is the wing of the bird, and face is quite close. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna just use my, this is a fabric marker, because I can literally just see the head is formed from what we've got here. Maybe I should just paint this in. And then we've got its body. It's on the other side of this figure, but the arm, the wing, is on her body. The bird just came up. Maybe I need a different colour. I've got blue here so I can see. Yeah, that's the kind of shape of the bird. I can either stitch it or I can paint it, and I would just work with what I'm feeling at the moment, and I'm feeling just to paint it in and maybe add some decorative stitches, but I've got like its wing here, so I'm going to do the wing in a different colour, and then its body goes down here, and ooh, a blue. I'm thinking a blue. I've got three different types of blue. This is well, it's a turquoise. Turquoise and a deep blue. So I'm just gonna get its rough shape. With the turquoise, and I'm just going to go lightly because you can still then see the underneath and the patterning underneath. And sometimes that's how the things that you're creating speak to you, and you just get a feeling that, you know, okay, this is what I can see, I'm going to add this, and before you know it, and I'm thinking the bird as well has got its eyes closed when we do get to the eye. So we've got its body going here. And I like the combination of the stitches and the painted fabric. I normally, more often than not, I've already added the painted parts. Okay, so its wing is going to have the deep blue and the turquoise as well. So I've just got some in the lid, and I'm just going to bring it this is its wing here. And it's funny how the stitching was done prior to this, but you can see, you know, as I've just done freeform stitching, shapes have formed, and then later on when you come back you can sometimes see different, you know, elements that are coming out of the piece that you can either, you know, choose to work with, or, you know, you can do something else. But it's so nice to combine the two. I like combining the two. Right, I'm thinking maybe my permanent ink might come into play here. I just need a small amount. Just want to go around the bird. so this is what we've got so far. I'm feeling some beading on her and maybe some around here, and I'm feeling of changing this colour. I know I've got the gold and we've got the burnt orange, but I'm feeling blue. And so again, we're going to experiment and see what colours. Ooh, I've got this pale blue. I'm thinking of using that in combination and maybe making sort of like a bluey sky. I'll see about the rays. See, it's not working totally for me at the moment, but sometimes you have to sit with it and go away and come back and then see what you think. I'm trying to shake this up a bit. Okay, so maybe if I just add it around here first, and then I can just have a feel as to how I'm feeling when I see it. I just felt, as I looked at it, I felt like more of a blue sky, and we've got the sunshine here falling on the two figures, and with the stitching that I've done going outwards, I can just add to that. So let me come under here and see. I might need to dilute this slightly. I don't want it as thick as that. Okay, so here we are so far. I like the colours now, and I will give you a closer look in a minute. I'm going to sit on it for a minute, sit on it in terms of like walk away and come back. So what I'm thinking of doing is adding some beading here. I'm not yet sure how I'm going to do it. In a pattern, maybe. Some sort of pattern. And some beading around her neck area. And maybe even the bird has got some sort of beading on it. I like the blue, adding the blue. You've still got some of the gold here. You can see it better close up. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty pleased with it. I'm glad that I added the paint, added more paint, and with the stitching that I've got emanating from her, what I might do is just do some additional patterns going outwards, and I might use a different colour. I might use the blue that we can see here. We'll see. Or it could be that I add the beading going out, and that's the nice thing about this, that you can just, you know, take your time and work through it and see how you feel, and then follow that trail, and then, you know, go on. So I hope you've enjoyed that insight, and I look forward to sharing with you the next stage. And I'll have to see whether I'm wanting to look to add beading that's a greeny colour. I think I have got a greeny colour. I'll just have to look at some of my seed beads and see, or just colours that complement here. We've got green and blue here and black. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you soon.